Good morning, gardening friends. My name is Lark, and I'm in Wisconsin, Zone 5. And it's Tea Time Tuesday, and I want to give you an update on my gardens and what's blooming this week. These cannas are doing great for me not starting them early. I usually start them in the house and put them in like half-gallon containers, but they're doing good. I have found a Japanese beetle, so we will be on the lookout now. My daily walks of beetle smushing. Annabelle, hydrangea, that was started a couple years ago. 2 in this area. Sweet alyssum that I dropped the plants from last fall in here and it reseeded. Perilla, some asters. You know what likes this? Oh, and I see them. What likes and is making yucky leaves here on the mullein are the cucumber beetle. Those yucky cucumber beetles. Let's see if I got them. Ugh. Yeah, I got a couple of them. Cucumber beetles. Go figure, on the mullein. Better than on my veggies, I guess, but I like mullein also. I am a thrift store shopper, and both these things, this copper bird feeder or bird bath, $7 I think, number of years ago. And then a piece of stained glass butterfly there. This time of the year I don't thrift shop a whole lot. Maybe weekly. Okay, my chickweed. I eat chickweed about 2 times a day. Once in my bone broth. The green is the chickweed. Perilla is the burgundy. If a few perillas get in there, it's okay. But perilla is a pretty strong flavoring herb, so I don't like a whole lot of it in there. Chickweed, so many benefits. I made a salve and last year, and this year I just made an oil infusion so far. Great for my aging skin, dry skin, skin that has abrasions. Lamb's quarters, another part of my daily eats. I think I see it go in the seed, so I'm going to top it there. I have to share something with you. See my wristwatch? It's a Timex from the 50s, early 50s. It was mine when I was a little girl and I saved it. Makes a perfect garden watch, plus fond memories. Okay, we're looking for new stuff blooming. Okay, I don't think there's anything back here. The trumpet vine tree is starting to get its trumpets on. You can see the little buds forming here. Now, yes, the trumpet vine suckers, and this is on the edge of the property here, the edge of the garden. Pretty birdie. Yes, it suckers, but I do cut them out, or I try to weed them out, digging them. But almost always, if it's established, it will not dig out too easily. So I end up just cutting it off. Another thrift store find is metal. I don't know what it is. I think it held a pot probably, but I found this at a thrift shop too, this blue plastic, and I use it as a small bird bath. I bet I didn't pay more than a couple bucks for it. So I'm leaving these daisies go to seed. And I want to throw them in areas. I thought I did last year, but like I am saying that the chop and drop method, if it's too thick, doesn't give light to the seedlings. So there's part of a clustered bellflower clump that just started to bloom. Pretty purple. It's nice to show you the garden in the morning because the spiderwort looks so pretty. Come afternoon, it is not, it's closed up mostly. Gloriosas, almost. Couple areas there, blooming real pretty. Lilies. And more lamb's quarters and weeds. This is my project for today, starting to weed this area on the edges of the path. The orange lilies are short, so is that white, probably about a foot. And this one here, the orange one, is probably about a foot to 2 feet. Now these little fuzzies on the hawkweed are the seeds. So they can be very aggressive. Uh-oh, I forgot to pull you guys out. That's that allium called Harry. A couple places I pulled it out. I gotta get to that too, because it sure looks like it's going to go to seed. If you catch it the first year that it seeds, you're okay, you can get them, but there's going to be an awful lot of them. Valerian, I let it go to seed. I like it a lot. My alliums are drying up, and I paint them. I spray paint them afterwards, and I'll show you that. I'll show you when I spray paint them. You just don't want to walk around and spray paint them, because then the stem gets in with the blue. I happen to spray mine blue, and it doesn't look real. So I avoid spraying the stem or the leaves. Excuse me. We're due for rain, and that's good because the garden needs watering. Gloriosa, you just never know what you're going to get. And the milkweed is starting to get its flowers on, and it's very fragrant. And another Annabelle in the back. Whoops, I had to step out of the garden. Okay, on Tips and Techniques Thursday, I showed you the bird cage over in the veggie garden. Well, I was weeding this path here, this stone path, and I took some of the seedlings that were growing in the cracks of the Gloriosa daisy and the rose campion, and I put them over here under this tree. I took away all the leaves, most of the leaves, because I know I reseeded feverfew in this area and it's not coming up, so it's not getting light. So I raked it away, and then I transplanted the rose campion and some of the Gloriosa daisies. And what else did I transplant? Some of the sundrops, those yellow flowers in this area, and some more Gloriosa daisies. But in this area, it's open and the squirrels are going to dig in it. So for the time being, until these things get anchored in, I cover them with the bird cage. And then it makes it that they don't want to dig in this area. That rose campion. No work to plant that one. You just shake the seed, and it needs light. So wherever there is a section that the light hits the ground, and it's in these cracks of these stones here, it grows, or on the edges. So a downside of chopping and dropping is if you put chop and drop too thick, you aren't going to get reseeds. In the veggie garden, it's okay, but in the borders, the perennial borders, you want them to reseed. Now the cucumber beetle also likes my peppermint. And you wouldn't think, because it's such a fragrant plant. Peppermint and my peppers. So daily, so far, I've been looking for them on my peppers. And then if they get too bad, then I'm going to start soapy water. But this is what it does to my peppers. Right here. Oops, 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 too close. This yucky damage to the new growth. So, and it's on the new growth, so I'm going to start spraying, I think, with soapy water for a while. Harvested a couple of the sweet little peppers, yellow and orange. Weeded my carrots and took out most of the Buenos Aires verbena. Oregano, harvesting Greek oregano, and the basil, large leaf basil. And as the summer goes on, the leaves even get bigger. But see the foliage on here? That does not make me happy. And it's very hard to get rid of the cucumber beetle, because I think the eggs or the larvae drop into the mulch, which I heavily mulch, so I guess I just have to fight with them with soap water. Nice. Oops, that one was really ripe, wasn't it? It's nice to start harvesting tomatoes in June. At least some, a couple of the large beefsteak I've gotten, and then now these Juliet cherry tomatoes. Beans are doing okay. Green beans. Not getting full sun because of the hoop house and these tall trees in my neighbor's yard. Holy basil, Tulsi, makes an excellent tea. I drink it at least, I'm drinking it now twice daily. It's an adaptogen herb. And yes, I like flowers. Even though I have them close to my veggie garden, I want them in my veggie garden too. That's a Gloriosa. And I see somebody bit one off. It probably was a bunny, baby bunny, because he can fit through this fencing, and the cuts are low. And there's some baby bunnies around, so that's who got it. Maybe I'll put the cage up tonight. Or no, this afternoon, because at night I get a possum or a raccoon. And I don't want to do that. Borage is blooming. I put that in Dave's and my salad. Makes a great companion plant because it attracts a lot of bees. Now, my basil Reuben happens to like part shade. And it grows and keeps its color in part shade. Otherwise, last year in full sun, it really got faded out. Garlic. Oh, I'm watching the bottoms. Couple leaves on the bottom start turning or browning, you know, dying back, then I guess that's when I harvest it. Ooh, I didn't show you my peas. Like you didn't see peas before, right? Stir fry coming. Probably within a couple days. These are the sugar snap. I'm done tying them, so they're going to probably just have to bend a little. In the hoop house, doing good. Broccoli, kale, lettuces, cilantro, broccoli, brassica type stuff that I don't want the white butterfly getting. Raspberries. I see I missed a few old canes. I should go in today. And the bush doesn't survive good. Can you see how thick that cane is and old? It should come down to the ground. And what it does is, can you see this here? It gets yellow yucky leaves. So I'll look for those yellow yucky leaves and down to the ground. Lettuce that reseeded itself, that's all in here. Same with the Japanese red mustard. It's flowering, but I eat the flowers, and then I eat the leaves too. Dill, calendula, just budding out now. I'm going to have a nice group of calendula in here. But you need a lot when you dry it for oil infusions, and I use it for skin, for tea. So I think oh, you know what I should check? I got triplet deer. Mama had triplets. And I already have another mama that had twins. So that's 5 babies running around for sure that I saw. So I need to pepper spray before they start a habit of eating in my garden. When they're young, I'm thinking their little taste buds really won't like that hotness. So I am just going over the garden and spraying high and letting it fall, a mist fall on the foliage, especially down here in the hosta garden, because that's the back path and they like walking it. I haven't seen it in a couple days, but we've been due for rain, and I hate to pepper spray because then all my time and effort is gone to waste because the spray gets washed out or diluted. You think they'd eat back here, right? Look they got everything. I see them eating back here a little, but I mean, they could chomp to their heart's content. I let white yarrow come up here and there and everywhere. That I use also. I use that one for bleeding. That's what I mostly use it for, to stop bleeding. Okay, so far, these hostas are okay. Blue angels. Some in substance. They're okay. The littler ones are okay. Now, when I have time, those flowers are coming off. I don't care for flowers on hostas. I just love the foliage look. Goat's beard. Okay, they must not like Japanese painted ferns either. Or goat's beard. So that's a good thing. I thought for sure they'd eat a stilby, but they haven't. They do like the wild. Well, they like the other Solomon seal also. I have variegated, and they like that one. And they like the common one. See how they chop it off, but they leave the flowers? Now here's another. What is eating you? Mullein. I was going to use the mullein leaves this year, but maybe I'll just use the flowers if it ever gets to that, if that bug stops eating it. Here's a new one, the short goat's beard. Nice height. Pretty white in the front of the border. Sweet Sicily, going to seed. In licorice flavor. Can you see it? I let that reseed all over too. It's an early bloomer, and the bees then have something early besides the dandelion and wild geranium. Pink astilbe. White astilbe back behind the hosta. So I try to always have something in bloom. Something to give me color. And of course the lady's mantle is gorgeous. Just gorgeous. Foliage is gorgeous. Flower is gorgeous. Now those deer could do a number down here too. But not yet. Feverfew. This is a lot of shade down here. Doing good. Doing very good. So gardening friends, thank you for coming on this tour this Tuesday. I appreciate it. I like chatting with you. And just so you know, I truly appreciate it. I don't get paid for this. And it's just fun. And I like talking with you. So I don't tell you to click the like button or comment. But if you do, that's great. I like seeing it. So take care, gardening friends. And come again next week. Or, if you like, check out my Thursday tips and techniques. I'll try to come up with something different that I do in my garden or in my life's journey. And I'll share it with you. Naughty ya.